The effort to stop another Parkland or Columbine or Sandy Hook from happening is the top job for Congress right now.
There's so many other children around this country who feel the same.
Yeah, but as Speaker of the House, I think we need to respect federalism.
If that is all Congress does, we won't have done our job to keep America's families safe.
Over the last few decades, the laws on gun control have been questioned. Through the years, things have only gotten worse with more school shootings and accidents occurring. Some people blame the guns, some people blame the person. But the big question is, how do we deal with it? Do we ban it? Do we make the laws stricter? Doing so could cause more trouble than there already is. So what is there to do? Guns today are a problem, but the problem does not only lie with the gun.
I think it's a combination of different things. I think that drug-related crime drives some of it. It's that they police themselves. There's also the idea that people need to defend themselves, and that might be at the street level, people that are not on the right side of the law, that aren't relying on the police department to respond to certain crimes. And there's also ego involved, that when someone has been done wrong, they're going to take care of business.
For over 50 years, shootings have increased dramatically in the U.S. School shootings have become a critical issue ever since 1966, when Charles Whitman killed 16 people at the University of Austin, Texas. The battle to change the gun laws has only become a bigger argument in the world. Protests continue to happen as more and more shootings occur. Columbine, Sandy Hook, Parkland, and a shooting at the concert in Las Vegas propagated the protest on guns. Situations are becoming worse and worse, dividing our country. Today, automatic rifles are the biggest problem with gun control. Some people support the idea of banning all automatic rifles from civilians. The AR-15 has become the most popular gun with school shootings. The NRA states that the reason shooters use AR-15s is because they have such a high reputation for being great guns. There are other guns out there that are more powerful but aren't well known about. The first big incident that started the trend of school shootings was Columbine, when Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold planned and carried out a vicious attack that changed the world's views on gun control forever. People were not as aware of the red flags as we know today. They wrote their thoughts, ideas, and plans in a journal. Today we are more knowledgeable about red flags from reporting it to someone. Only thing is, gun control varies state by state. In cities like Boston, Massachusetts had 680 guns confiscated in 2016, while Chicago, Illinois had 6,088 confiscated in 2016.
Better, more secure defenses? Absolutely, they should. Yeah, this I'll talk about King Philip because that's where I work. But all schools are the same. They weren't built to be fortresses. They were built to be community centers for learning, for education, and for extracurricular things. So people can come in and out of here anytime that they want. If they're very young, they can just walk through the front doors, whether they're a student or not, and they'll gain entry to the building. There really isn't any concerted effort to secure this place. So I think there's a lot that could be done.
Different areas of the country have different views and ideas about how to regulate guns, and some work better than others. Most guns used during crimes are not guns of the state, though. They are usually brought in from different states where the gun laws are more lax.
Easy access to weapons helps. Now, easy access doesn't necessarily mean legal purchases. I'm talking about the easy access of illegal purchases, which are made easier by states that have very lax gun laws, as opposed to the states that have very stringent gun laws. For instance, statistics from the state police, as well as from the Attorney General's office here in Massachusetts, suggest that almost all of the crimes that are committed with weapons in the state of Massachusetts, which has some of the most stringent gun laws in the country, are committed with weapons that are brought in from neighboring states which have very lax gun laws, and that includes Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
So I've done a lot of thinking on the cause of gun violence in America. I think that it's multifaceted. I think that it's not, we need to put, a lot more stricter rules on gun control. We need to be looking at anti-bullying. It's not one or the other. People are complex. So, Jordan Peterson is a psychologist and philosopher in Canada who's being looked at a lot right now for how he kind of views humans. And, people just are so complex with their personalities. So I think that before you start critiquing the way that someone behaves or the way that a procedure is fulfilled, you need to look really hard at yourself. And it always talks about how, you can't really go out and start critiquing people on why they do things until you clean up your own house, because I think it does start with the individual.
Handguns are the largest problem for gun violence in America. They are confiscated and used in crimes more than any other gun, yet the school shooting weapon of choice is a rifle. In the state of Illinois, 8,000 handguns were taken while just 1,000 rifles were taken in 2016. Fully automatic rifles for the entire state were only 20 taken in 2016. The numbers are very different, but the states have been struggling to find a medium between safety and the right to own a gun, specifically owning a rifle. Some states have limited the buying and selling of rifles to a minimum, as to make sure they cannot be used in a violent crime, while others have not decided much on them, so they allow them to be bought and sold without many limitations.
I definitely think schools should have a better lockdown system, and I think it should be more difficult for people to enter schools, particularly with our school. It's easy to kind of just walk in. I don't think we should necessarily have weapons on school grounds, because I feel like that's going to do more harm than good. Personally, I wouldn't trust a teacher with a weapon, but I think overall we need to focus on keeping guns away from schools rather than putting them in them.
But I believe the knowledge that there are guns in that school are going to stop, especially a kid from coming in and opening fire, because I think they are cowards. And I don't think they're completely mentally disturbed. I think there's part of that. But if they're that mentally disturbed, why do they choose a soft target like the school? They choose it, in my opinion, because they know they're not going to get shot themselves. And if you know that there's a danger, for instance, attacking a police station, it has been done, but you know you're going to be in a gunfight if you get in there and people are going to fire back. So in my opinion, you do need some type of people armed. I think it has to be, the larger the school, the more, whether it be police officers that are trained there, or if you have people, licensed teachers who are licensed with their guns, carry their guns. Then the person that may think of attacking the school won't know who has a gun or what the system is. So
the issue of gun control in America has a long road ahead. Solutions have to be tested and implemented before they can make any effect on the problem. The debate on gun control rages on as more tragedies happen, while the attention they get only lasts a short time in the American public eye. As other events happen, eventually a solution should be made. When is that, is the real question.